that you had with Tupac. Let's speak specifically about the night at the MTV Awards in New York City.
Oh man, that night was, it was crazy that time because his Machiavelli album, his last album, there was all this buzz about it, all this talk that Tupac's coming from New York, and Tupac is the biggest guy in the game, and you know, we all loved him, and he was coming from New York. So long story short, he's in New York, Death Row's in New York, and there was no one really around from New York that represented New York at the time, like physically, during that time and at that party. So, what do you mean, like?
I mean, no, it was, you know, I think a lot of people don't know. It's not widely known, you know, the relationship that New York artists had with Tupac, and the respect, the mutual level of respect. Because a lot of people, if you just read the headlines, all you've seen was that everyone hated each other, but not that the artists had that mutual respect. It seems like there's a lot of respect given to Tupac from East Coast artists after his death, but no one talks about the respect that they had for his creativity and art and the mutual level of that. They only think about he hated New York as well. That's what I wanted you to allude to.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, Pac's one of my favorite artists, and when we saw each other, we had saw each other before that, but when we saw each other, you know, I felt like he's in my city. I gotta step to this guy. So we stepped to Death Row and one of those parks out there, and really just got to the bottom of it. Just really got to the bottom of it too. And what he said to me is, me and you are brothers. We're not supposed to. Me and you are never supposed to go at it. But I heard you were dissing me on mixtapes. I'm like, I heard you dissing me on this new Machiavelli album. And you were there. You know how we could. None of us could be sitting here near you right now because it was a very dangerous situation right there. And greater heads prevailed. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
And we both knew that we were supposed to continue that conversation and probably even squash the whole thing. But I was scheduled to meet him in Vegas.
Yeah.
And you and Jimmy Ivan called me about 4 in the morning and told me that he might not make it. It's touchy to talk on that because he's not here, and with all respect to his legacy, you know, but it was a moment. It was a moment.
So you've been in the game, Nas, for